Okay, hey. My hair looks ratchet. I just wanted to wear this because I haven't worn this in a long time and I don't think it looks very good. So, so this is kind of like story time rant. Do you like this? I used to do that all the time and I like how it kind of looks like a bow right there. Where'd it go? Right here. So this is a story time about myself, but it's a rant about something that's been going on in my life for like the last year and a half or so. I don't know how to like approach this story, so I'll just say like for since I was really little, I've always wanted to be a cosmetologist, and I graduated back in 2013, and I slacked out for a little bit. But then a year and a half to 2 years ago, I was trying to get into cosmetology school, and I wasted a year and a couple of months on one of them. And they were always like messing up my financial aid. Like every time they would talk to me, they'd tell me that everything was complete. There was no problem. I could start on my date, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you sure you have everything? There's nothing I'm missing, whatever. And they're like, no, it's okay. You're not missing anything. They're like, no, you have everything in. You're good to go, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, the date, you had to have the financial aid in for the school like 3 weeks beforehand. And they're like, oh no, they messaged me a week beforehand, like, oh, you haven't got your financial aid in yet or anything like that. And I'm like, you guys told me it was good and it was in place, stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, but you didn't do. And then they'd like name a bunch of more stuff, and I would do that. And they're like, okay, now you're set to start on your start date. And I'm like, seriously? So then like that start date would come around, and then a week before I was supposed to start, they'd email me saying that I didn't do this or whatever. And I'm like, how come they keep like telling me, oh, you did everything, like it's complete now? And then it's like, no. How can they just fucking be like, no, it's not, no? And at that point, I wasn't looking into any other schools because I had so many people telling me, oh, go to this school, go to this school. And I was like, well, it's got to be good if I have cosmetology friends telling me to go there. And then, yeah, don't look at this. It has to be washed. Um, they'd be like, yeah, go to this school or whatever. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. So, and then like after almost a year, I started looking into other schools or whatever. And then they kept like, I was like, oh, if this school lets me in, I'll just stop looking at other schools. And then it's like, they just kept telling me the same thing, like, oh, you didn't do this. And then they're like, okay, you're good, whatever. And then I found like another school that their financial aid apparently was better than this other place's financial aid. And it only had to be in like a week before school. So I was like, yeah, okay. But then I decided, like, and sort of, I live on the north side from where I'm from, and then I didn't feel like traveling by bus, like having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day, put on makeup and stuff like that. And, you know, I didn't feel like doing the whole long ass commute, tired as fuck every day. Like, and then there was a school that they built in the mall here that was like, oh yeah, we can, if you don't have a job or whatever, we can help you with that. We got scholarships and stuff like that. But then they were like, also, but as soon as school starts, here's, you have to start doing payments, and you have to put down a $200 down payment. You know that we don't have the money for this, and can't I just do like financial aid to help pay that off? And then I have forever to pay back those loans after I graduate and I can get the money and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, we don't really do financial aid because, blah, 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 de blah. Hang on, I got lint on my toe. This guy was like, oh, I'll help you get a job or whatever so that you can pay for the payments when they come through and everything like that. And I was like, okay. So he's like, I'm going to email you so I can help you with a resume and everything like that. And I was like, okay, whatever, don't care. So like I was waiting for him to email me like he said he was going to. He said, I'm going to email you one day asking how it's going about trying to get money for the 200. Because then instead of wiping it out, they decided I was still going to pay it. And then they were like, and then we'll help you I'll email you the next couple of days after that, trying to send you some resume questions. And I was like, okay, like whatever. I suck at writing resume shit. So I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for him to help me with that. And then maybe it'll be way easier to get a job. But I would only get a job if I could do my hair like this, because There's some places now that'll let you do it like that, like Starbucks apparently. Hey, Starbucks. Then I was still like, I told the first school that took like a year of my life just because of financial aid stuff. I was like, I'm no longer going to come to your school or whatever. And they're like, why? Did you find something else that you wanted to do? Or, oh, we'll keep your record on for a year or something like that. And I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to even start with that school because they'll be like, oh, yeah, your financial aid's in place. And then I'll start because I'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, it's in place. They're not telling me I have anything else to do, anything like that. Because the last email I got from them was after I finished everything again, one of the admissions counselors emailed me like, oh, could you give me a call because it's something about your application that I want to talk to you about. And I'm like, there's nothing weird on my application, so what the hell does she want to talk to me about? And I was just like, oh, I'm not going to come to that school any longer. I want to go somewhere closer to my home because this place was downtown. And then they were like, okay, and then never heard back from them. Is it weird to any of you that they had like 3 or 4 different admission counselors because everyone was leaving and it was just in like a year's time? Like, you obviously don't run a very good school. It might just be the school out here, but I'm not going to mention the name. And then with the one on the west side, I don't know. It's just, I liked it, but it just seemed weird. Like, it seemed like it was just kind of thrown together. I guess maybe I could have pursued that one better, but whatever. Like, that lady kept texting me every other day, like, are you still coming to our school? And I'm like, I decided I wanted to go closer to home with that one too. Because there was one over here, but that one was really rude to my friend. Like, I really don't want to go to a school that treated my friend like shit because then they could just easily treat me like shit too. And on their website, like, on their website, if you look at it, if you want to know what it is, I'll have any of these schools I'll have the social media down below my, like, Instagram and stuff like that. I'm sorry that I keep doing this. I don't know what I want to do with it. On my social medias below, and then I can tell you what schools they were, but I don't want to bash them by name in this video. It's just kind of really irritating that every school, like, oh yeah, especially the one that was in the mall, like, I told them that I wanted to open a beauty shop in South Korea because I'm obsessed with South Korea, and I was going to have one side of it for, like, where animals can get haircuts and stuff, and the people could bring their animals with them, and then, like, where I wanted to do, like, K-pop idols or just, like, Korean people's hair on the other side. And they were just like, oh yeah, that really inspired me, and I want you to write an I love you sign in Korean, and we'll hang it in the salon and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, okay, you're not going to do that. Because the next time I saw him, which was, I know specifically was April 23rd because it was an hour after I had gotten my shiny Chicago fan meet tickets, he was like, oh yeah, first he told me that I told him last time I saw him I was a DJ. He's like, you didn't know if you could get this scholarship or not because you and your mother's income was too much together because you are a DJ and she does whatever she does. And I was like, I'm not a DJ. I'm unemployed and I make YouTube videos. And he just looks at me like, oh, have I met you before? I'm like, were you high when you fucking met me? Like, seriously? And then my mom was like, she wanted to know if you were serious about her writing an I love you in Korean sign for the school that she would hang up. And he's like, mom goes, you said that last time I saw you? And he's like thinking, and he's like, oh yeah. Because the last time he saw me, my hair was purple and blue, right? If you have not seen that in my last videos, I have my social medias in the bottom and the other YouTube channel link down there. I'm sorry. Seriously, though, like, it just bothers me. Like, I used to do this when my hair was long, and now it's just, like, it looks funky, and I don't know where to put it, because, so it's just, like, he forgot our whole meeting and everything like that, and then after that meeting, he, like, never emailed me. He said he was going to call me and, like, check in on me, and, oh, can we do this and that to get you into our school, and then he never emailed me. I was supposed to start that school yesterday, May 31st, and he was just like, he never emailed me asking, are you still able to start on May 31st or can anything like that? And it just really aggravated me because I'm like, you really, really wanted to get me in your school, didn't you? Like, I impressed you so much that you, like, forgot me, even though you were like, oh, you really inspired me with that whole Korean thing. And then the West Side School, she may have kept in contact with me, but that doesn't mean, like, there was just one person And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know about that one. My brain was like, it was a good location and she was pretty cool, but I don't really know about, because the first school that I was trying to look into for the year was like, oh, there was, you get an iPad and stuff like that. You get your kit during the school and you could take it home, blah, 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 like that for, but two, with that school, they were like, oh yeah, you had to give us 2,200 if the financial aid isn't in place before you can start school. And I'm like, if you know that I have no job, why the fuck would you ask me for $2,200? Where the fuck do you think I'm gonna get that from? You think my family's gonna be like, here's some fucking money? No. So the whole conclusion that I came up with is, instead of becoming a cosmetologist, and doing all that right now, seeing as how I want to do hair in Korea, and hair in America versus hair in Korea or Japan or whatever like that is completely different. So, and it's even more popular out there than it is here. So my conclusion was that I was going to become an interpreter, because I was going to do cosmetology and then do the interpreter stuff. But seeing as how schools out here for cosmetology want to be jerks, I'm just going to do it backwards and do interpreter first and then cosmetology. I was like, yeah, okay. So if I can do that, I can clearly save up enough money to just pay for cosmetology school. Like, no financial aid, none of that. I can just like easily be like, oh, here's $1,000, just my own money, like no debt or anything like that, because I'll already be in debt from trying to go to the university. And we all know that's going to suck, but according to my friends, you get 20 to like 36 years or something to pay back financial aid, which I guess isn't really that bad, but it's okay. And then I figured that I could go back to, like, I could be an interpreter and I would be fluent in Korean then, and like Japanese and whatever that I pursue. Because if I want to do it for K-pop idols, I'm gonna have to know like Chinese, Japanese, all the language that they go to, like English and stuff like that. But yeah, that way like I can do stuff for that. And then if I can actually become into the K-pop industry with just like hair or whatever like that, uh, I can do both for like maybe a K-pop group. Like, let's say if I worked for Shiny, like I could do K-Bummy's hair and Taemin's hair and like do their makeup and everything like that, be their interpreter for when they're on shows and on the road and stuff. And they wouldn't have to pay me anything, because I just be paid and spending time with my boys. Hi boys. So this was a story time of me telling you my very shitty experience with trying to get into beauty school. And like why would you tell somebody that you wanted them in your school, and that they had inspired you and everything like that, and this and if you were just not going to contact them again? That's what happened with the first school. They were like, oh, if you have any questions, whatever like that, you can just email me. And so I'd email them, and it would take them like a month or two to reply back, no matter how many times I would email them. And then with the second one, they contacted me way too much, and I wasn't really into that one. The third one are assholes. And the fourth one were also assholes, because they were like, oh yeah, you're with a different school now, and we will always keep in contact with you. And that never happened. They never kept in contact with me. Like, very first or two times that emailed me, they were like, bam, right on that. And then right after the second meeting, it was just like, really the first meeting actually, I was just like, no, whatever. I guess it all works out for the best, because then I can learn in Korean and everything. I can be fluent in Korean, I can learn in Korean, I can just do whatever. And that's that. So if you had this problem with anybody, like if you're not from Wisconsin, it doesn't matter where you're from. But in Wisconsin, it's really hard for cosmetology schools, because people are just like, kind of like with their nose up about that here. And if you're from anywhere in America, have you had this problem? You probably haven't, because you're probably cooler than me. No, if you've had this problem, comment below and let me know what you did or what happened with the school, or if you decided to like change majors until you could make enough money for that, or if you didn't have that problem, let me know what you did to not have that problem. And I guess that's it for this video. It was a rant. I just wasn't like bitching. I was just letting y'all know a little about how irritated right now I am. But it's okay. I'll figure it out. And Anya! I'm Key's Key. I need to make it a thing. Key's Key.